and welcome to the Duluth News Tribune's Bulldog Insider podcast. I'm your host, Matt Wellens, the Bulldogs hockey beat reporter at the News Tribune.
And I'm Zach Schneider, the television voice of UMD Hockey on My Nine Sports.
Joining us on the podcast this week is the first Massachusetts native to ever play for the Bulldogs women's hockey program. I don't think that's ever been refuted. That's a Laura Bellamy specialty stat right there. She's in her fifth season at UMD, but you're not a fifth-year senior, not the COVID rules. MK got to 5 years the old-fashioned way by missing her entire almost all your freshman year due to injury. But because she's back for a fifth year, she gets to be the captain of the Bulldogs in 2025-26. Welcome back to the podcast, redshirt senior Mary Kate O'Brien.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, welcome back, MK. Glad to have you back in school for a fifth year. You and I were talking a little bit before. You actually graduated already. So technically you're a graduate student, I guess, but working on your MBA and such. But you spent a full off season in Duluth that was the first time in your Bulldog career here, right?
Yep, I got my first Duluth summer, and it was since my freshman year has been saying, "Oh, you have to do it at least once. It's awesome." So I did it, and it lived up to the hype. It was a lot of fun.
Even though you were working for Zach.
That was just an added benefit.
That was an added benefit. You really paid off Hannah Baskin, a previous employee, at MK now. You've really sucked up to these kids to keep them coming back. Huh?
Yeah, for sure. Because I want another one next summer. So the recruiting process starts now because the women's hockey program has been awesome for 2 summers in a row to Grandma's Marathon. We couldn't give MK a full Duluth summer. We kept her through June and the early parts of July, pretty busy. But July and August were all hers before she went back to hockey.
So what was your favorite thing about a Duluth summer?
I think I really just liked training with my teammates and like being able to spend time with my teammates. I love going home, seeing my family, but like I feel kind of isolated in Massachusetts. Everybody is everywhere and like no one lives close by. So it's like you go 3 months without seeing your teammates. It gets long. So that was my favorite part.
All right. So full disclosure, we're recording this episode actually prior to the start of the 2025-2026 season. By the time you're all listening to this, the season's going to be underway. UMD women are opening at Mercyhurst in Erie, Pennsylvania, and then heading up to Syracuse. That'll actually be, when you guys are listening to this, tonight and tomorrow in upstate New York, a Thursday-Friday series. That's 4 games in 7 days, 10-day road trip out east, I think is what I calculated at MK, with 13 newcomers on the roster this season. How beneficial is it to have a lengthy road trip like that to start the year?
I think it's incredibly beneficial because there's no time to really think. You're just thrown right into it, right into the gauntlet. And like, that's where you learn. And so like, we're going to get thrown into like a hefty away trip, but like, then everything else seems easy. Like the, 2.5 hour bus ride down to the cities, or like, I guess we're going to Wisconsin, which is like 4.5, 5-ish. Like all of that is going to seem less extreme than what we're going to do first. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of time for team bonding. So I'm really looking forward to it.
You think it's going to be fun as a fifth-year senior? How do you think the freshmen feel about first couple weeks of school, away from home, many of them for the first time? Thinking back to your freshman year, would this have been like, hey, I just get to get out of town for 10 days with my teammates and focus on hockey, do some school, I'm sure. But would that be as much fun as a freshman as it is now as a fifth year?
Honestly, wouldn't be surprised if they're pretty stressed. I think we have, since there's so many of them, a mixed bag of personalities. So I'm sure there's some of them that are like, woohoo, like no school. But then there's definitely going to be some that's like, oh my gosh, like I'm going to be so behind. This is so stressful. But hopefully like myself and other returners can kind of alleviate some of that and focus on the hockey and focus on the fun. We did a trip like this my sophomore year when we went to LIU and then St. Lawrence/Penn State. So hopefully we can be like, this has been done before. Like we're going to survive, like school will be there when we get back, and hopefully can kind of live where in the moment where our feet are.
Yeah, that's where I wanted to lead with that is you've got so many new faces on the team and you've been around the program a long time, but you lost a lot of veterans, people that had, like you, been here forever. It felt like we've just been talking about the same people for a long, long time with UMD women's hockey. Now you've got a lot of new faces this trip. What's your leadership style like? What do you have planned for this early part of the season to kind of get your feet wet as the captain and hopefully bring everybody, all the newcomers and the returners together?
Yeah, I think like this is a great opportunity to like start anew, obviously building on like we have such a strong culture and close-knit culture that's been built for so many years, but like to have so many new players and to be able to bring them in and build on what we've done in the past, but at the same time, like a new team, a new chapter, I think is like a good balance of that. And then in terms of like myself as a leader, it's all about like building connections. And like, I see this as like a year of making so many new friends, like 13 new friends with the 5 transfers and the 8 freshmen. So like just getting to know people better and like bringing them under my wing and showing them, okay, like, yeah, this is my 5th year here. This is how things have gone. But at the same time, like we're adaptable and like so just building on what we've done and like bringing them into our culture, but at the same time like it's a breath of fresh air, it's flipping the page, so like a good balance of the both of them.
Is Rookie Idol still a thing?
Yes, it is.
Do the transfers have to participate in Rookie Idol?
Absolutely.
Everyone does Rookie Idol. All right, so handicap it. Who do you think's the favorite for Rookie Idol this year between the freshmen and the transfers?
Well, I think somebody that brings a lot of energy is Ella Picala. And so I think that if she's given the opportunity, the stage, I think she's not going to disappoint.
Who's had the edge in recent years of Rookie Idol? Is it the transfers? Is it the freshmen?
I would say usually the freshmen put on a show. I mean, this is our first year where we've had so many transfers, so like I could get proven wrong, but
it's a good thing you guys have a long road trip to start the year to get everyone in on this. Otherwise, if you had like a short trip to the cities, you wouldn't be able to to get everyone in.
And new staff, they're not spared either, so they'll be jumping in as well. Mm-hmm.
Let's go over the rules of Rookie Idol because longtime listeners will have known about this. We've talked about this several times.
Kaylee Skinner in the Hall of Fame, I believe, of Rookie Idol with her rapping.
Yeah, but I don't know if we've ever discussed the rules. Who picks the songs? Who does the voting? Where do the performances happen? Is it kind of random, or are there specific rules to Rookie Idol?
So there's some guidelines that we stay within. So we usually go number order. So it'll be like kind of a mixed bag of like, oh, a freshman will go, maybe a transfer will go next. So we'll go in number order. They get to pick their own song. So there's no excuses for lack of energy. And then we'll put them up there. We'll put them on the hot seat, ask a few questions. So they have to answer like one of those questions. And I might be spoiling it. So some of our freshmen, if they listen, they're going to maybe expect this one. But we'll ask them like which coach they think they could beat one-on-one, like on the ice or something like that. So then you gotta answer truthfully, and then we'll put them like in headphones so they can't hear themselves and play the song, and they have to sing for us. So they can't hear themselves, but they're gonna be singing hopefully at the top of their lungs.
But the music is in the headphones?
Yep.
Okay, I was gonna ask if it was a cappella.
Oh, well, we don't hear the music, just their voice, so we get the lovely vocals.
Did Coach Schuler have to do Rookie Idol because of her promotion from associate head coach to head coach?
Oh, no, she didn't, but that's a good point. I think we could probably get her up there again.
Yeah, bring it up that, hey, we had an oversight last year. Mm-hmm. I'm glad this is airing while we're on the road. I may have just killed any goodwill I had with Coach Schuler for the season with that suggestion. But I know like Maura Kroll and Laura Bellamy, if they're still listening, think that's a great idea right now. So sorry, Shu. 8 freshmen on the roster, not looking at them from a Rookie Idol standpoint, but who, including 6 up front with you at forward, who among that group of rookies has kind of stood out so far early on in the preseason?
I think they've all looked great. It's like definitely overwhelming, I think, to come in as a freshman, but like hopefully knowing that there's so many of them that can kind of like ease any of that like deer in headlights feeling. And like we were kind of talking about before, like we started filming, but like it's been a bit of a revolving door in terms of people in and out for respective national team camps. So like it's been different every day. And right now we're kind of in the early stages in terms of like just seeing, oh, we're going to split up 50-50 in colors for mini games, or like, oh, like things are different every day. And so like, I think all of them have done like a great job of like putting their best foot forward, especially like during what's probably an overwhelming period of time for them. So I commend them all.
You guys have 5 transfers, including 2 Gophers and a Buckeye. Sophomore Josie St. Martin. Let me know if I'm mispronouncing anyone's name wrong. On here, I don't know if Zach's already done his preseason pronunciation prep or anything like that. Kate Kosobud.
I think, yeah, Casabud.
She played her freshman. Josie was at Ohio State. Kate played her freshman year at Minnesota. And then senior Krista Parkinen, also now a Bulldog. She played for Minnesota and Vermont. Fans get really hyped up when they see whether it's the NCHC or WCHA, like in-conference rivals, switching teams. For players, is that still a big deal at all? Like for you to see players come in from WCHA rivals? Or has that just become, as your career's gone along here, maybe less of a thing with how the college landscape has changed?
I would say it's always exciting, like more so just seeing like high-end talent come from the transfer portal. Like we've gotten people from everywhere, like obviously in recent history, like some of it's come from the WCHA, like with Mobley or like Reese Hunt. But we've also gotten like such high-end talent elsewhere too, like Liv Wallin coming from Penn State, or this year we got Tia from Mercyhurst. So like there's talent everywhere, and I think like it's more so exciting to see us going after the high-end talent in the portal and getting girls that want to be Bulldogs. So I will say like knowing when girls come from the WCHA, like they know what WCHA hockey looks like, and so like that experience is always good because like they know the intensity and the level of play. But like more so like I'm just excited when we see like good high-end talent come.
Don't name any names with this question. Don't get yourself in trouble. But are there players that you've played against in the WCHA and have had battles against that you just as soon not see on the roster? Is there anybody that plays a specific role for teams? Because we've seen players like that. UMD has players like that. And Reese Hunt was the example that I thought that came to UMD, and she had such good battles when she was at Bemidji, and then she fit in seamlessly. Was there a conversation that had to be had about, hey, I'm here now, I'm invested in this program, or was that just, hey, you're on the team, and or was that something that had to be addressed about when somebody like that comes into the program?
No, I don't think so. Like, we've been so lucky. Like, everyone that's come to UMD has, without any conversations had, like, I'm so excited to be here. Like, I'm so grateful. Like, I'm a Bulldog now, which is awesome because, like, we accept everybody with open arms. But, like, to know that it's, like, a two-way street. Like, we want you here, but you also want to be here. Like, yeah, doesn't have to be any conversations.
Okay, so bygones have been bygones in every player.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Zach wanted to ask what you'd think if Abby Murphy had transferred to
I told her not to name any names, Matt. I told her not, and I didn't name that name. Matt,
I know, I'm telling everyone, but everyone on the podcast that follows women's hockey, the name they were
Matt
thinking
said that.
was...
MK didn't do it, and I didn't do it.
Yeah, it's on the record.
Yep.
as Matt brought up Abby Murphy. All right. Which transfer... whether it's this year or in the past, has been like the biggest surprise? The person that you least expected to end up as a Bulldog, the person you're like, when their name comes through, when you first hear it, you're like, wow, that person's coming. Interesting. Like, has any name ever piqued or surprised you?
Ooh, that's a good question. Because I feel like usually I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Like Mob's coming here. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, because just like her style of play is like, yeah, she's a Bulldog, I would say not even a surprise, but more, I guess, like a pleasant surprise, I guess, is like Ashley Messier coming. Like her situation was different because when you're at an Ivy League school, she had an injury, like you can't do your fifth year there. And so like she did her 4 years at Cornell, loved it, like whatever. But then, and for her to commit here so early, it's kind of like, oh, like, but it's not weird because she couldn't go back to Cornell. And so like that was obviously like a really nice quote unquote surprise, I guess. But yeah, other than that, I can't really think because that situation's like different than the norm.
Yeah, you played her in the NCAA tournament last year.
Yeah.
And everyone had found out before that she was coming to UMD. Again, because of the whole Ivy League, I'll let this person remain nameless, but the Ancient Eight is, I believe, the nickname over there with the Ivies, and how they do things. But what was that like playing her last year in the NCAA tournament, knowing that she was going to be your teammate next year?
Yeah, it was like a little, I don't know, it was probably less weird for us than it was for her. Like I know that she might have had some nerves or was just kind of like, oh, this is a little bit weird of a situation. But like Mess and I were roommates in high school, my junior year, her senior year. And so like we go way back. So like in that, like I was just like more so like, this is funny. Like, but yeah, I think it was kind of like like this is, of course this would happen, like of course we would end up playing them. And I'm sure she was thinking the same thing. But at the end of the day, it was just like living in the moment. Both of us want to win and, so. Yeah.
Give us some insight into how Laura Schuler recruits a little bit, both freshmen and transfers, right? Like when somebody's name is in the portal, is she a coach that uses the leadership group? Did you have conversations with some of these transfers before they made the decision to come to UMD? Does she use the leadership group or does she leave that mostly for her and her assistants?
I would say definitely a combination of both because it's like, the current players can provide like insight and like that, coaches can't always, or like sometimes things mean more when they're coming from players than they do from coaches. But like, it's definitely like a combination of it all. Like they go in hard for the people they want and they show that interest. And, like we're just there as backup. Like we're telling you, we love it. Like these are all the amazing things, like, this is why we love it, or like we can provide other like insight about the coaching staff. Maybe they don't want to come off as like bragging or rub, like, I don't know, they don't want to rub anyone the wrong way, but like we can say that about them. Like I could say how awesome Shu is and like it's not Shu being like, oh, I'm awesome, So like I think it's definitely a good combination of both.
All right, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, MK is going to show us how to make a TikTok.
Yay.
You're listening to the Bulldog Insider podcast, brought to you by the News Tribune's limited podcast series, Edmund Fitzgerald, 50 Years Below.
You know the name. You've heard the song. You know the number. 29 men were lost when the Edmund Fitzgerald was overcome by the gales of November 50 years ago. But do you know the rest of the story? The Duluth News Tribune has been close to this story from the beginning, and now we're looking back as the world marks a half-century since the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. In this limited podcast, we will tell the story of the Fitzgerald from its launch to its loss, and we will also explore its legacy. Edmund Fitzgerald, 50 Years Below, will be released in 5 episodes this fall, starting October 13th and leading up to November 10th, 2025. Watch DuluthNewsTribune.com for articles, images, and videos that expand the story.
Welcome back to the Bulldog Insider podcast, brought to you by Edmund Fitzgerald, 50 Years Below. You'll be able to listen to the series on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen to podcasts. First episode drops October 13th. And you can support all the Duluth News Tribune's podcasts by visiting DuluthNewsTribune.com. Subscribe and check out all the content we have there, including a new Bulldog Insider podcast bonus segment that we just recorded during the break. It's our question of the week. This week's question with MK was, if you had to crash at the house of one of your teammates for a week, whose house or apartment are you invading? Who are you avoiding? So see what UMD women's hockey captain Mary Kate O'Brien had to say over at DuluthNewsTribune.com. I'm your host, Matt Wellens, along with my co-host, Zach Schneider. And our guest this week, MK, is back with us. And for those of you who don't know, I don't know how to put this, but MK is kind of a big deal on TikTok. People know her. She has over 13,000 followers last check. Wyatt, you said one of her TikToks has like over 9 million views. 1.9, not 9 million. Okay, 1.9 million views. 1.9 is still decent. Zach, grandmas, you guys got any engagement like that? 1.9 million?
If after hockey, we are going to talk to MK about coming back after her career is many, many years down the road, then she can make us a TikTok.
Then she can make.
I don't understand it, so I'm excited for this segment because in the short 3-4 months that you were there, I still don't think we got a chance to sit down and for you to teach me about TikTok. So.
You had her working for you and you didn't have her teach you how to use TikTok?
It's a big marathon, Matt. We just didn't get around to it. But Grandma's Marathon does have a TikTok account. but we don't use it.
Yeah, the Duluth News Tribune has a TikTok account, and Wyatt is just recently trying to revive it. I actually just joined TikTok a week ago in preparation for this podcast. I'm still not getting it. I'm still figuring it out. I don't think the algorithm has learned exactly about me yet. It has figured out that I watch a lot of Bluey. Because I'm a parent of small children. MK, when did you hop on the TikTok bandwagon, and why has it become a passion for you?
I hopped on my sophomore year. Actually, this is like to go way back when TikTok was like becoming a thing, like around COVID and stuff. I didn't get it. I was like, I'm not getting this app. Like, I'm not going to get addicted to it like everybody else, like, you know, trying to be holier than thou. But now here I am. I got it my sophomore year, or I had it before that, but I started making them my sophomore year just because I thought it would be a good opportunity to like bring attention to UMD women's hockey. And so like, I thought it was a good opportunity to like, oh, let's show them even more of like an insider's view of like our team. And like at the time, Taylor Anderson had been making TikToks too, and so she had kind of had a head start on me. But I was like, oh, like this could be fun, and it's like a good way to like, I don't know, show creativity. But yeah, so I think that's just how once I started, I was like, oh, we can just keep it going, and now it's come a long way since then. But
I actually think the first time I heard about TikTok was on this podcast from Jared Hilderman. That was back in the day though, when it was like just an EDM app. I think that was the first time I had heard about it. Kudos to you for holding out till the sophomore year of college. How would you describe your channel, and where do you get the inspiration for your TikToks?
I would describe my channel as like a relatable student athlete type. Like I try to keep my content pretty focused on like hockey and like being a student athlete. I'll show like day in the lives, or I'll like make funny like trending content with like my teammates, or like I'll do like a question of the week or a question of the day with my teammates and ask stuff like that. But yeah, so we just had our media day last week, so there's a lot of content about like that right now. But yeah, I would just say like I get a lot of my inspiration from other student athletes. There's some good women's hockey like players or content creators that I'll like take inspo from, but I also look at like other athletes too.
Who do you kind of consider like your core audience? Who you said you're trying to bring more attention to UMD women's hockey and the sport and stuff. Do you kind of have like a hockey fans, other student athletes? Who are you trying to reach with the channel? You were a marketing major, right? If I remember right. So this is right up your alley here of core audiences and such like that. You probably had entire classes dedicated to this. Yeah,
it's definitely important to have a target audience. I would say I keep it pretty hockey focused, hockey fans, hockey players. I'll dip a little bit into like fellow student athletes and stuff that's relatable to them too, but I would say like a lot of my content that's focused on hockey does well. So
do they teach this in school? Do they teach TikTok or like social media marketing in college now?
They'll do social media marketing. They don't we don't have like a class on like TikTok specifically, but like I took a digital marketing in sports, and so like that will go into social media a little bit, but also like, you know, emails, like that sort of thing. But yeah, they do teach it, especially because it's like growing so much that you'd almost be like really naive not to.
And how often are you creating content nowadays? Does it vary like where you are in the off season compared to middle of the season, or is it pretty consistent all the way through?
I try to keep it consistent. It's definitely easier like in season when you're around your teammates all the time, because it's just like automatically people that like make stuff for you or film stuff for you or whatever. And like since I was in Duluth this summer, it was like a little bit easier than like when I'm at home. But I've been trying to post almost every day, or sometimes if I have stuff in the drafts, I'll post like 2 times a day. Because it's like with TikTok in particular, it's almost like they always say quality over quantity, but sometimes it's like quantity over quality. So it's a little bit of both. Like sometimes it's just like you need to have filler content, and then there's also some stuff that I take some time to like edit and make sure I really like. So it's a little bit of both.
Are any of your teammates safe, or by being on the team, you just have to sign a waiver that you're going to be on the TikTok at some point?
Yeah, nobody's safe. Like it depends. I'm usually like pretty good about asking like what people are comfortable with or like whatever. I'm not like sniping people or anything and then throwing it up for all of my followers. But for the most part, people are pretty understanding, and a lot of people like to be in them. So it's a good way of like bringing people together. I like to think.
And she's the captain now. You all have no choice.
Do what I say.
Yeah. Who are your top co-stars on the team? Who else is pretty involved in TikTok? I have noticed in a little bit I've been on the app. Again, I always say I watch TikToks 2 weeks later on Reels like an adult. Who are some of your who are your top co-stars who've been or maybe have been the top co-stars over the years?
Well, Clara was always down for, and Hannah, they were always down for a good TikTok. Same with Jenna, but obviously they're no longer with us. So Grace.
R.I.P.
Yes.
R.I.P. Clara.
Grace is in a lot of them. I'll get like Bergs in them. I feel like I try to get like whoever I can, like especially the like questions one. I try to like get around to asking everybody. I made some TikToks with like Camden Davis, but then I've gotten a lot of the freshmen in them too. So yeah, really nobody's safe.
Is there anyone who's reluctant to take part?
Usually they're just people that like want to know what it is beforehand. Sometimes I'm like, okay, do you want to be in my TikTok? And they'll be like, what is it? Sometimes that's like Tova or like Kramer sometimes, but for the most part, everybody comes around.
For hockey fans, specifically college hockey fans, who are some good creators to check out? Who do you think who are the must follows? Who are you a fan of?
I'll say Avery Myers from St. Cloud has a huge following. She's obviously not playing currently in college anymore, but she still posts a lot of good stuff. Same with Quinn Kuntz. She has like a pretty good following as well. She was at Ohio State and then most recently with Wisconsin. I'm trying to think of some other people that have like kind of jump started their content. Those two are like two of the big ones. Lacey Eden posts here and there. But yeah, a lot of our freshmen are trying to start their TikTok journey. So I'm like trying to mentor them. I'm like, you got to post a lot. Like, so I'm trying to teach my ways.
And these are all on your personal accounts. Does UMD Women's Hockey have a team account that you post on? Do you handle that, or does the marketing team with the university handle that?
So Kendall Nelson takes charge of that. She does analytics for us too, but she'll also do like our social media stuff. And she actually just got an internship with the WCHA too. So she runs like our TikTok account and does all
Does she take suggestions from you?
Yeah, I say we bounce ideas off of each other.
What kind of feedback do you get? What kind of interaction do you have? Matt said 13,000 followers for your personal account on there. So what kind of feedback or interaction have you had with people who maybe didn't know about you or UMD before following your account and now they have? Have you noticed people that maybe are starting to know more about you and the Bulldogs just through this TikTok?
Yeah, I would say so. I think it's always like cool to see the comments of like, oh, I want to play there one day, or like people like from Duluth that are like, oh my gosh, like I live in Duluth, like go Bulldogs, just like things like that are really cool. But then I've also kind of noticed like one time I was like I went to a PWHL game, the Charge versus the Frost, and like there was somebody like a row behind me that like tapped on my shoulder and was like, I follow you on TikTok or whatever. Like, this is so cool. Or someone at Hairball did the same thing. Was like, I was like standing next to somebody and they're like, I follow you on TikTok. So like just little things like that is pretty cool. It's like, you're kind of like, oh, I guess people do watch.
I did not expect the demographic of Hairball. Like I was going to ask that same question. Like, have you been recognized anywhere for your TikToks? And Hairball concert would not have been.
Yeah.
That is, it's good to hear you went to Hairball over the summer. That's if you're trying to get the true Duluth summer experience, Hairball would be on the list. Did you end up at Trampled by Turtles?
I did.
Did it all. Grandma's Marathon, Hairball, Trampled by Turtles.
Yeah, Hairball certainly has the age demographic for TikTok.
Hairball does have the age demographic for...
When's the last time you went to Hairball? We can't go anywhere with that.
Am I too old for Hairball?
Oh, by a decade and a half.
Oh,
Yep. You and me
Hairball. I didn't realize the demographic for Hairball has gone down.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
MK can still swing it.
MK
you and
can
I
still
should
swing it. Too old for hair.
Yeah, we should go to Tribute
Students,
Fest.
Yeah.
We should go to what?
Tribute Fest.
Tribute Fest.
Yeah,
That would
that's
be-
more our speed.
All right. I will admit I've heard Tribute Fest playing and going, oh, that band sounds good. That's as the guy who went to a Linkin Park concert this summer in the cities, I guess it's on brand for my demographic now. So yeah, the Duluth News is on TikTok now. We're Duluth News Tribune or Duluth News, Wyatt?
Duluth News Tribune.
Duluth News Tribune on TikTok. I'm by Matt Wellens because probably at some point I parked Matt Wellens on TikTok and can't find a way to get it back because I don't remember what account. I've always done that. I park usernames on various platforms, even if I'm not going to use them.
Duluth News.
At Duluth News. Okay, that's like the rest of our socials. No, I didn't want to get on TikTok because I was like, as a parent, when I became a parent, I wanted to spend less time on my phone and not be stuck on social media all the time. But I still spend just as much time on my phone because of my job, and I need to search the internet to know how to dad. So, what does Reddit say about this situation? And then you read stories that make you feel better about your life. So that's where I'm at in the social. But yeah, by Matt Wellens, I have 2 TikToks up. One was promoting this podcast. 2, I did one the other day with my dog. So MK, Wyatt's got a variety on there. Hey, dog social media content.
MK, do you follow Matt yet?
No, I don't.
How many people follow you?
Probably no one.
Yeah, it can't
probably
be
no
many,
one.
right?
It's only been a couple. It's been like maybe less than a week that I got on
You
there.
should follow and be one of the first.
Yeah. Yes.
And critique. I got 2. Oh, yeah. Ooh, who are the 2 following me?
Adele
Wyatt is one of them.
Duluth News is one of them.
Oh, so my wife
Yes.
isn't even following me either.
No.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, MK, in your expertise,
They're both me.
they're both Wyatt. So really
that's a
one
good
person.
friend.
Yeah. Thank you, Wyatt. MK, in your expertise, what makes a good TikTok? What's your advice?
I would say a lot of it is capitalizing on like what's trending. There's usually like
Yeah,
sounds.
I'll struggle with that then.
Yeah, sounds and different trends. So like capitalizing on that, like what's going viral. And then also like good quality stuff. Like I know that's contradicting like what I said before, but like a lot of my stuff that's done well, I've like actually taken the time to like edit and like make it look good. So there's like definitely 2 different ways to go viral. And then funny always helps.
Okay, here's my problem though. Who decides
man
what's
yells at
trending?
cloud.
Right? You have
Yeah.
to watch other TikToks to know what the trends are. And by that time, are they old? Like Matt and I need a website of here's 1 through 50 things that are trending, right? To tell us what to do to make a TikTok. This is where you and I have talked about this. This is
Yeah.
where we struggle. How do you keep up with what the trends are?
Yeah, it's definitely hard because it's also like when is it just like copying other people? Like when like you want to have some originality as well. The only way to really know what's trending is to like always be checking, which is like hard because I'm somebody that like I don't like to be glued to my phone either, but it's like you need to see, okay, what have I seen a lot of? Or it's like it makes no sense. It'll be like a Katy Perry song from like over 10 years ago and you're like, wait, why is this trending today? Like this song wasn't even good back in the day. Like, you know what I mean? Like nobody listened to it back then. Like there's a Rihanna song that's like trending right now, Breaking Dishes, that like back when like Don't Stop the Music was like it was like that era. I was like no one was listening to Breaking Dishes back then. Everyone was listening to Don't Stop the Music. So it's like I don't know, it's definitely hard. Like the only way to really know is to like be on your phone, or it's like kind of be in touch with like pop culture. It's like, well, when Taylor Swift's new album comes out, those songs are probably going to be trending through the roof. Or like Sabrina Carpenter just dropped an album, those songs are all over the place. So it's like kind of capitalizing on that and also kind of like, okay, who did something funny first and now all these people are copying them.
Which of your TikToks is your favorite? throw out the analytics. I think as a writer, like I can tell what stories are my favorite that I wrote, and they're usually not the ones that score the best
one
on
read
the
them.
analytics. I have some stories that I put my heart and soul into, and no one read them, but I thought they were good. And then there's the 3-paragraph brief that you write that blows up and goes viral and such like that. What's your favorite TikTok that you did that you were proud of?
I have a couple. There's one I made over the summer that I really like. It was like the Aura farming like boat one. It was like, I think it was like Indonesia or something, like so random. And it was like this kid that was like on a boat, and these people are like rowing the boat, and he's like dancing or whatever, and it just went viral. And so I was like, this would be funny to do like in our gear or whatever. So we literally like had a skill skate with like Sid Brought, and like Ani Linzer was there, like whatever. And I was like, we should make this. And so we were like standing on the bench, and Sid Brought's filming. So like that one was pretty funny. And they posted it on like Together or something, like on Instagram. And so,
I did see that one on Instagram.
Yeah. So like that one I thought was funny. And then I like the ones that I've made like in the gym, like off-season training, like you practice like cellies basically. Like you'll have like weights, and you'll be like, oh, like whatever, heartbreaker. And so I think those are kind of funny. But then I also like when I ask my teammates questions, because it's like you get so many different answers, and a lot of them are like funny or I don't know. And then those usually do well because people are in the comments like, what? Like Zoe said what? Or whatever, you know? So yeah.
All right. So we brought you on this podcast not to just talk about TikTok. This is the episode where Zach leaves the podcast and never comes back. This might be Zach's end.
Depending on what she has in mind.
Depending on what she has in mind. This could be the end of the Bulldog Insider podcast. We want you to create a TikTok for us. You can post this on your account. I guess we'll decide once you tell us what this is, whether we're going to post it on all of our accounts here.
You can post it on yours. No one will see it.
No one will see it. It's fine. You're right. I could
Repost it so then everybody sees it.
Then everyone will see it. Well, they'll see it already if it's on MK's. So, all right, MK, describe the TikTok you're going to have us do. We're going to do this off camera, off the podcast, because our studio space is small. And also this means you all have to go to MK's TikTok. MK, what is your TikTok? We have not actually mentioned it on here.
It's MKOB47.
MKOB47. We'll also post it to Duluth News and by Matt Wellens as well. Zach, you want to put this on the Grandma's Marathon TikTok?
I honestly wouldn't know how. So I'm going to say no, but I will try to learn.
I'll try to learn. All right. Goals here. All right. So we're going to do that. MK, describe this the TikTok that we're about to do here.
So basically it's going to be the three of us just posing like together for like with music playing in the background. And it's going to be like us. I'll work on the text to make it like funny, but it's going to be like us 5 minutes after they ask me hard-hitting questions and I beat around the bush or something, like almost like, oh, pretending as though we were just like butting heads even though we weren't. Then like being friends again after, which is the music is all like cute. And yeah, hopefully it goes viral.
All right, there we go. All right, so head online. Again, MKOB47, is that what you said? MKOB47 on TikTok to check that out. That's all the time then we have on the Bulldog Insider podcast this week, except to make a TikTok. MK, thank you so much for joining us again.
Thank you for having me.
You can find more episodes of the Bulldog Insider podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. Like us, subscribe, and rate us. For more Bulldogs hockey coverage, visit DuluthNewsTribune.com/Bulldog Insider. Subscribe to gain access to all of our coverage all season long. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next week.